Hi, if this is your first time here, welcome to my channel, or if you're like me and you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Chaotic Curl, and in today's video, we're actually going to be making a bralette of a different shape. So, just before I get into that, I do want to remind you to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and of course, don't forget to follow me over my Instagram at chaoticcurl_crafts. I did make sure to link that down below. But today's top, or this week's project, is going to be a crop top with a big bow in the front. I don't know why. I've been thinking about it all week. I can't get it out of my head, and I feel like I have the perfect yarn for this. So right before I left Puerto Rico, I was able to go out, be in the craft stores, go to the different malls, and see what kind of different yarns they had to offer. And I actually found this yarn from Line Brand. It's unfortunately been discontinued, but I was able to get it in these two colors. It's the Tweedledee yarn that they had. I got it in this color, Earl Grey, and then I actually had to search and search and search to find out the name of this one, but I also was able to get it in the Peppercorn color. So I'm going to be using these two colors for my bralette this week, and it's going to be a huge bow. Obviously I have two colors, so it's going to be two-toned. I'm not sure if I'm going to do another color block where I have one side of the bow as gray and one side as pink, or if I'm gonna do stripes. I haven't really decided on that, but I was able to make a sample of the two colors. As you can see here, it's the Earl Grey and this is the Peppercorn, and I do think I'm gonna go more with a side-by-side versus the stripe, but I still haven't decided yet, like I said. So the yarn does call, as you can see on the label, it does call for a 5mm crochet hook. However, I don't think it's thick enough to justify the hook. I don't want it to have too much space in between each stitch, so I'm using a 4mm hook. And I did make sure to include the other materials that I used during this project down in the description box below, so you can always go ahead and check it out there. But I am pretty much ready to get started. The stitch I'm going to be using is going to be the half double crochet. That's how I made this little sample. And so I'm just going to get started on the bandeau part of the bralette first, and it is going to have straps. I'm obsessed with straps. So I'm going to get started with the bandeau part first, and I'll show you guys how that goes. I'm going to do the colors side by side, like I said, just like the sample. So I'll come back and show you guys that. Okay, so I am getting ready to get started on the project. I just measured myself, so I know exactly how long I need to be making the bandeau. Now, like I know I did say in that previous clip that I was going to do the colors side by side, but I actually changed my mind. I'm going to do the bow with the two colors side by side, but I'm going to make the bandeau striped. So we're going to have the Peppercorn and the Earl Grey striped. And I'm also going to be doing a little change as far as the bandeau. It's actually not going to close completely in the front. I'm basically going to do the same like how I did in my dress video, in my Jasmine Stitch dress video, where I'm going to leave a gap in the front. So I measured myself. I'm just going to leave a 2-inch gap in the front, so that way the front of the bow can actually complete that space. And like I said, I am going to make it tie front, so that way it's just the bow and I don't have to worry about pieces of the bandeau being included in the whole tie. Of course, I'll show you guys how I do that, but I'm just letting you know just in case the bandeau looks a little short. But I am also going to just be making it all in one piece, since I am going to be tying it up in the front. I want the back to be as solid as possible and as closed as possible. So I'm going to make it so that it wraps around me from back to front, but with the opening in the front. So now we're definitely going to get started on that project. So to get started on this project, I actually made a chain of 120 stitches, and then of course I just have double crocheted across back and forth until I built up the gray section to about 1.5 inches, which in this case was 6 rows. So now I'm just showing you guys the color change to add the pink stripe, but again I'm just doing that half double crochet, so it's just the yarn over through the stitch, pull through, and then you pull through all 3 stitches for that half double crochet. But I'm just going to keep half double crocheting until of course I reach the number of rows that I want for each stripe. So like I said, in this case it would be 6 rows, so that I could have 1.5 inches for each stripe, since I am building the bandeau up to 6 inches and I do want 4 stripes. You guys saw I was able to finish the bandeau in the last clip, so I just wanted to come back and show you guys what it was looking like as far as the gap that I wanted in the middle. So this is what it looks like on, or what it should look like on. So what I'm gonna do now is just make the straps, and I'm gonna make 2 straps the same way that I made the bandeau, so striped, and I'll come back and show you guys the 3 pieces once they're done. As promised, here are the 3 pieces. We have the bandeau and the 2 straps. So now I get to start working on the bow. So I was able to finish the 2 straps and the bandeau piece like you guys saw. So now I'm actually getting ready to start on the bow. So the way that I'm going to do the bow is in 2 separate triangles. Now I already finished the triangle for the gray side, so I'm going to get started on the triangle for the pink side of the bow. And I'm going to show you guys how I did that and everything that goes with that process. Because along with the bow, I also made the string that I'm going to use to connect the 2 pieces in the middle. So let me just show you what it looks like on the, this is the gray part as I said. So it's just gonna lay across like that. I'm gonna make sure to hook a piece of it onto the strap, but that's basically what it's gonna look like. And as you see, like I said, I have the string attached as well, so this is all one piece. So we're just gonna make this same thing here, but in okay. And so to begin the ribbon on the pink side, I'm actually going to start off by chaining an even number of stitches, so that this is going to be my base chain. So for this, I'm actually going to be chaining 60. For this first row, we're actually going to start off with our double crochet mesh pattern. So I'm going to do my stacked single crochet turning chain. So I'm not going to chain anything after I get to my 60 stitches, which this stitch that you're seeing here is stitch number 60. So right into this one, I'm just going to put my hook and start with my first single crochet. And then as we do with the stacked single crochet turning chains, we're going to go into the back leg of that stitch so that I can do my second single crochet right on top of it. And then I'm going to chain 1, skip a chain stitch from the rows, and go right into that next one and do a double crochet and chain 1. There's the double crochet and chain 1. Again, we skip another one of the chains from the foundation row and we double crochet into the next one and chain 1, and we're just going to continue that way until the end of the row, where you should be ending with a double crochet, just like how we started with that double crochet. So I'll see you there. For here in row 3 and forward is where we're going to be reducing every other row. So we're going to start off with this row with my stacked single crochet for the turning chain. And of course I'm going to chain 1 after. Now we're going to start decreasing. So in these 2 double crochets, I'm going to prepare like if I'm going to do my double crochet, go through the first double crochet, pull the loop, and then I'm going to go straight into the second double crochet, pull that loop through, go yarn over and pull through 3 loops, and then just yarn over again and pull through the last 2 and chain 1, and that's going to be the reduction. So now from here I'm just going to continue with the double crochet mesh pattern, where I will double crochet and then chain 1, double crochet and chain 1 until I get to the last 3 stitches of the row, and then I'll show you guys what to do there. I said wait until you get to the last 3 stitches, but I meant the last 3 double crochet. So now that we're here, we're going to decrease these 2 into 1 double crochet the same way we did the other way. So I'm just going to start off like if I'm doing a double crochet, where I yarn over, go into that stitch, pull the yarn through, and then go into the next double crochet stitch and pull the yarn through again, yarn over and pull through 3 loops, and then yarn over and pull through 2 to finish that double crochet, chain 1, and for the last double crochet we're just going to double crochet it like normal. And this would have been the stacked single crochet from the previous row. So now what we do here and for the next row is we're just going to do the double crochet mesh like normal, so there's no decreases in this row. You guys to see what this looked like, what the decrease is looking like from that previous row. And like I said, we're going to continue doing it like this, where in every odd numbered row you're going to include a decrease, and the next row that follows it will just be the mesh stitch like normal, and you'll just keep building it up that way until you reach the width of the bandeau. So I'm just going to keep going from here with the decrease row and a non-decrease row until I get to where I need to be. It's almost finished. I just have 3 rows left, including a half double crochet mesh row. And like I previously mentioned, this last row is going to be a half double crochet mesh row. So I'm just going to turn my project, chain 1, and then I'm going to do that half double crochet into that last double crochet from the previous row. And of course I will make a chain stitch at the end of this half double crochet so that we have that mesh effect, and then just do another half double crochet at the top of the next double crochet from the previous row, and continue like that until I finish the row. Okay, and so just to finish off this portion of the project now with the bow, I'm gonna actually clean up the edges a little bit by adding a single crochet border on the edge until I get to that final stitch on the other side where I'll add the string that's gonna go through the half double crochet mesh. So what I'm gonna do now to get started is just chain one, and then in each space I'm gonna add one single crochet, and in the spaces in between, like in that little hole that I'm trying to show you there, I'm gonna add a single crochet. So that's going to be for each one. I'm going to do one in that space where the two rows meet, and one in the space where the actual double crochet is. So I've made it back around to the half double crochet mesh stitches. So I'm done doing the single crochets for the borders. I'm not going to do a single crochet border over those stitches. So now I'm actually going to start on the braided cord that I'm going to be using for the string. So I do my last single crochet, and now into the top of that single crochet, I'm going to pull the stitch through and then go through both stitches. So then we go again back through the top of the two stitches I grabbed, and we just go through the top only and pull through, and that is actually going to give us a braided cord, which is going to look like a slip stitch cord, but in my opinion is just a little bit stronger since it's built up with two stitches versus just one for the slip stitch. But I'm just going to continue this way until I have 150 of them, and that'll be the string that I use to tie the two bows together at the front of the top. And these are all of the pieces that I need in order to put this top together. We have the bandeau, the two straps, and of course the two sides of my ribbon with their string attached. So I attached the triangles onto the bandeau. I just wanted to give you guys a look at what it was looking like. And I actually did this so that I could attach the strap and to make sure that the space in the middle wasn't too big, which thankfully it wasn't. So I'm just showing you now where I'm attaching the strap. I'm just going to put a safety pin in each side, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like with everything pinned together. As promised, this is what the top looks like with everything, including the straps, pinned to the bandeau and everything stuck together. Now I'm just going to sew it all together, and then of course I'll come back and show you guys what it's looking like. So here it is. The top is done. I'm above and beyond happy with the way that it turned out. The way that it looks is exactly the way that I was picturing it in my head. I love that I did the stripe on these straps, and on the bandeau, so it looks super cute. And of course, I'm in love with the bow. It's so cute. It's not too long, but it's also not too short, so it's a pretty good for a crop or a bralette, like what I intended it to be. And with the corset tie in the front, all I did was just tighten it as much as possible so that everything would scrunch up, just to give a little bit more of that bow effect. But again, like I said, I'm loving it. I'm super happy with the way it turned out. The colors, the way they look up against my skin, and it looks summer ready. Like, I'm definitely ready to take this out on the town somewhere. The sun needs to see this top. But I'm glad you guys were able to see it, and you guys were able to join me on seeing it on for the first time. So here we are. It's definitely a beautiful top. I'm so grateful you guys were able to join me in this week for this video. And don't forget to join me over on my Instagram, where I'll make sure to post pictures of this top. And also don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, just so you can keep up on the next projects that I'm going to be making. But for right now, let's just enjoy this top. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.